The amount of hoops I just had to jump through in order to get this going is so frustrating. So let me just start from the beginning. I recorded this yesterday. Okay, I started recording like this stuff yesterday and I was gonna edit it last night and have it up by like Friday or something. My audio was not working. So when I tried editing everything, it just wasn't working. And I was like, okay, that's weird. So I was like, you know what, let me just go ahead and re record. Fix the audio over here. My camera gets full when I was like mid recording. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? So I took everything off, thinking that if I just like took it off and deleted it from my like what I could see, it'd be fine. Wasn't working. Cool. Went figured out how to like clean it out, and when I did, I accidentally reformatted it. So I had to go and reformat it again, which luckily it was only I only have a 32 gig, so didn't take super long, especially because there was nothing on it anymore. So I had to go and just reformat everything, and it was just not fun. This whole I was like wanting to get this done really quickly so I can just start editing before my doctor's appointment, and that's just not how the cards played it out for me today. So that's fine. But hi, hello, welcome back. If you're new here, hi, welcome. My name is Sarah, as I said. But yeah, today I kind of want to have like a little like talk about me getting off social media, my relationship with social media, my return, I guess you'll call it, and everything, and just kind of have a little sit down chat about like my relationship with social media. I did mention like getting off everything when I first started. I did mention getting off of like my social media when I started YouTube, like or just started this channel specifically, and then I took like a 3 week gap between posting. So I just kind of want to get back into the swing of things and just kind of talk about everything. I guess I don't know. So yeah, here we are. But before we could begin, I did want to talk about like some housekeeping stuff. If you are not new here, you probably noticed that I am not in the same space I've been in the last couple videos. I know I started recording outside and then that just didn't work out. So now, and then I started recording in my room. I swapped rooms with my younger sibling. So now I have a smaller room. So that's why I'm recording on the floor like it's 2014 or something, but it is what it is. I got a haircut. I it looked a lot better yesterday, but I obviously had to re-record since then. So yeah, it looks a little bit crazy right now, but this is fixed. The back was really funky too, but everything got fixed in my hair. I feel so much better. I'm so happy. I found somebody that knows how to cut my hair, just and was able to like explain the process of everything that was gonna happen, and it looks and feels so much better. So there's that. I have nails again. I had nails in one video and then they were gone the next video just because they overgrew, and I don't have the ability to just go and get my nails done whenever I want. So I was kind of waiting until something like I was able to, and tying in with this next thing, it was my birthday last week. Last week as of when I'm recording this, which is Thursday. But I needed nails again. I was like biting at my nails and I was trying to find a better way that wasn't acrylic to get my nails done. So I have polygel, which is apparently supposed to be better for your nails. I haven't really noticed a difference. It was still kind of the same process of like filing all my nail beds down. I don't know like how true the whole everything else is, but it is what it is. I like them. I like having nails again. I'm habitual nail biter, so having nails is kind of like a good thing for me, I guess. Like I said, if my birthday was last week, I turned 25. I miss being 24. I miss being 24. I like being 24. 24 was a good year. I guess let's talk about my social media experience and why I got off and why I got back on and everything in between. Like many of us, I grew up with social media. I'm gonna talk a lot about like YouTube and all that stuff, and then I'll also probably talk about like social media specifically. But I grew up with like YouTube. I remember watching YouTube a lot growing up. My mom posted us on her like MySpace page, and then on Facebook when Facebook became a thing. Like I said, like I grew up with it. I haven't learned anything different from that. I had Instagram when it was like the little Polaroid. I had Twitter for a little bit. I had Vine, I think, towards the end of its lifespan. I didn't really get Musically. I got TikTok, like, I think after a breakup or something, just to see what it was about, and I was literally on it all the time. But yeah, like, Instagram and TikTok were, like, my big, like, on them, like, all the time. Like, when I would get my little notifications from, like, my phone saying, like, how long I'd been on apps, I was literally spending, like, 6 to 8 hours a day on my phone, and I just wasn't getting anything done. I wasn't really being productive with my time. I was wanting to be like a content creator for like such a long time since I was little. I've always wanted to be a content creator, but I was spending so much more time like just watching things and not really getting anything out of it, and just kind of like brain rotting. I was wasting a lot of my time on social media instead of like being productive or like posting or doing things that like I genuinely wanted to do, and it just wasn't. I think I needed like time to just kind of figure out what it was I was wanting to get out of social media. Like I said, like I've always wanted to be a content creator. I remember like being little and like recording things and wanting to post them, and then just not knowing how because I was like a kid. In terms of content creation, I really wanted to do like just something creative. I remember like in high school I really wanted to do like the band hall, which was like the mockumentary type, like Office inspired, even though I never watched The Office or like Parks and Rec, but I really was inspired from like the like that type of stuff. So I really wanted to put something like that on YouTube, like that kind of content. When I was little, I remember my goal with content creation was just to create something for everybody and put something up and just, enjoy it. And then once I started realizing people were making money off of it, I wanted to make money and do stuff like that. And then I started struggling with money in my early 20s, so I was like, okay, well now I just want to make money. But I never like posted anything. I have a really hard time like sitting down and creating like a plan for myself, which is crazy because I really thrive off of that stuff. I just never know where to begin. So I had a really hard time like sitting down and being like, okay, so today I'm gonna do this and this and this, whatever. Like just having like a structured plan with what I was wanting to do. I was wanting to become a content creator. I didn't know what I wanted to put. I had no idea like what it was. Like I was wanting to like I wanted to like have a message with what I was doing. I wanted to like have like not necessarily a reason, but like a purpose, I guess, for posting. And I could never find my purpose as to why I wanted to. So I just really struggled with like I want to do this, but I don't know where to start. The hardest part for me was really just posting, and I think having social media really made me struggle with like my self-image on like who I was as a person, especially because I didn't know who I was. A lot of my self-image and my self-worth and my like sense of self came from posting like random stuff I found on my stories, or like posting on my Instagram stories of like random things I found like just that I liked, and that's just how I like figured out my sense of self. When I started this, I really wanted to separate like this aspect of myself from my personal aspect of myself. So I really like it was just a really hard balance trying to figure out like, okay, well, I don't want social media on my phone because I don't want to see anything, but also I need social media for like this aspect. So I have a whole separate page just for this. I just struggled a lot with my sense of self, and I was wasting so much of my time like just was doom scrolling on TikTok or Instagram and just seeing things that everybody else was doing and getting like, okay, well, I want to do that and I don't have the means to do so. And I don't want to say like I get mad about it, but I definitely like get in my feelings about it, and it really just made me struggle, and I had no goals. I think I also had like a sense of like entitlement, I guess, where I just was like, okay, well, like if this is meant for me, like it's just gonna happen, it's just gonna fall in my lap, and then whatever. Like I guess like I just thought like it'll just come to me one day, instead of like putting in the work to actually like create something for myself out of this. And so like I said, like I really thought I was gonna make money off of it, like all this stuff was gonna happen, but I like never posted. Like I felt so like shy and awkward and didn't know where to start. I just didn't do it. And I was like, why is nothing falling in my lap the way it's supposed to, and this and that. So that's it as far as like my relationship with it. I really feel like if there's like a TLDR for like this first part, it really was just me growing up with it, not having a good sense of self, wasting a bunch of my time on social media instead of like being productive on there. I really just kind of like didn't know what to put. I wanted to put out a very specific image of myself, and that led me to just not post anything because I didn't want to necessarily, not that I didn't want to put the work in, but I also just didn't feel like I could be that girl, I guess, that like posts a bunch of like stuff. It felt so time consuming, and I felt like I had no time for myself, which not like it's not like I have any more time. I feel like I had a lot more time before I started this new job. I think it also really affected like my mindset for myself as well, where I just, like I said, like I really thought like a lot of things were just gonna fall in my lap, and that I didn't have to put the work in if like I just believed it could pop up, which that's not how life works. So that's like just like a really brief it was just me rambling, but a really brief history of myself with social media. So I guess now we can talk about like the breaking point. put it in with a brief history, but I really did struggle a lot with like my self-image and like who I was as a person and who I thought I was. Like I said, I was not productive when I was on there at all. So much of my time just kind of scrolling and like getting ideas for what I wanted to put, but it was content that I was consuming that I wasn't really happy with. If I'm gonna post, I want it to not be this. So like I was like making mental notes of like, okay, well I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that, and which it wasn't even like me actually doing any of that. Like I say that and it was just me scrolling and like getting bored. Like I think towards the end of my time on TikTok especially, like I was just kind of like scrolling. I was like, none of this is entertaining anymore. A lot of my feed was like just Reddit stories in general, where I just was spending time like listening. Now I have like a specific podcast that I listen to that's dedicated to that. So I try to like limit my time. I do have a timer on my social media now, so I'm able to like not spend my time on there. There was like the productive aspect of like me just wasting a lot of time, but like I also said, like I get really bad FOMO really easy. So seeing my friends like do stuff and all these things, I was like, oh well, like nobody's reaching out to me to do that stuff. But it's also like I'm not reaching out to my friends to make plans either. Like I've been so busy the last couple months, like I just haven't been able to. It was really just my mentals were taking a hit really, really bad. So I just felt like I needed to take a break and like really reevaluate everything. And then I started this channel where I was like, okay, I'm just gonna keep everything separate. Which, yes, it's doable. I just think I don't have, not, I don't want to say I don't have the motivation, but like the self-discipline to be posting super often. I also tend to hop off, like I said, like my mentals were taking a hit, so I tend to hop off when like my mental health is not doing great. I know when I've had like my bad breakups with people, I tended to get off just to like give myself space. It was crazy because like I'd get off things that like those people weren't even on, but it was more like for me to like reassess, reevaluate, just like decompress, because I would just feel like my void of like sadness and stuff like that with social media. So I just would get off to like take some time for myself and just kind of like figure out what it is like I'm wanting for myself. I think also like I would just do it to sulk. Like it wasn't even like actual like being sad. Like I was just sulking and like I probably didn't. I mean, I think it's good to take breaks from social media. Like, don't get me wrong. I genuinely think, like, we need to, like, just kind of sit back as a society and just kind of really, like, reevaluate, like, how much time we spend. But also, that's not for me to, like, tell people that. Like, it's not me to dictate for you to do. That's just something I like to do. Especially, like, if I'm having, like, a hard time, I just get off because I will, like, it feeds my depression really badly if I'm on it a lot. So, for me, it's really good to just take a breather from social media. Like I said, like I really wanted to keep my personal life and this part of myself separate. I don't want my friends to see like a more vulnerable side of me. I feel like I mean I know I don't have a very tough exterior, but I try to like present myself a very specific way, and like I've already cried on this. So I really don't want my friends to see like that side of myself, but also my friends are like some of my biggest supporters, so it doesn't make sense why I'm going to keep those two things separate. So now I'm back on everything. I got back on a couple days ago, I want to say, like at least a week, I think, or like earlier this week. I don't know, a couple days ago, I got back on. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. I got back on my social media and everything, and I've really just been trying to, especially this past weekend, I've really taken a lot of time to be like, okay, what is it like I'm wanting from this? Like, what is it that I'm wanting to get at? What am I trying to contribute? Because I never wanted to put anything up where I wasn't giving back at least something. Like, yes, this is for me, and I've been wanting to do this, but I also want, you know, somebody to get something out of this. Like, I don't just want to, like, talk into a void, and, like, especially if it goes somewhere, like, I want there to be some kind of meaning behind it, where it's not just some, like, I'm just doing it because, like, I want to make money. I wasn't getting any joy out of just doing that. I really wanted to like have like a purpose behind what I was doing. I've been trying to be better about filling my time and being more productive with, you know, like I want to do this, I want to make more time for it, and I want to crochet more, I want to make more time for that. So like I said, like I put limits on there. I don't have my notifications turned on anything. I just want to kind of like keep what I was doing, because I was doing really good without it. Like I was still on my phone a lot, but not as much as I was when I had social media, and I kind of like not being on my phone as much anymore. Like I really do think it gives me more time to just be. I think I said everything I wanted to say, but I just wanted to thank everybody for watching. I'm gonna try to be better about posting on everything. Like I said, like I really want this to be like a more meaningful thing for not just me, but people who end up watching this. Like I want you to be able to get something out of this if you're watching. Like I genuinely want a sense of community to come out of this, I think. And yeah, I think I said everything I wanted to say. I have a script and then I never follow it. Well, I kind of follow it, but it's never like whatever. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I hope that if you're coming from my social media, thank you. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. But yeah, I hope you have a great day. I hope you have a great morning, evening, afternoon, whenever you watch this. And we'll talk soon.